And then another thing is, my biggest adjustment, I had to be being away from family. Like, most people that I have on the team that being in Louisiana, they're in the Louisiana area, Texas area, they're close by. It is like, my family 13 and a half hours away. Like, the people that I know close, dearly to me, where I can go feel like home, are 13 hours away. So, you have to learn to, like, adjust to that. Like, you out by yourself. It's just you. Like, you got to make it do, like, you know.
I agree.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy T-Bill. I'm out here with G Weezy on Neighborhood Heroes. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Got my boy Belly Bill back in the building.
It was good.
My youngin' in this thing that's just bigger than me. I'm talking shit. How you doing though, my boy?
I've been good, bro. I've been living. Feeling good, doing good.
For sure, man. That's love. For all y'all that don't know, this is my boy Belly Bill, a.k.a. Terrence Bill, T-Bill, whatever y'all want to go on. Big blood, big Kappa. Actually, my stepbrother, if y'all didn't know that, my man's is a big Kappa from Central. He done went all the way out to Grambling State playing football. He doing track. He doing the Kappa shit. He's just ultimately going crazy, man. So I had to get you on the show. I appreciate you for spending your time to come and spit some game on the podcast. And we just want to know a little bit about you and your journey and how you pretty much came to where you at now.
Well, Terrence Bell Jr. Kalamazoo born and raised, Northside Kalamazoo. Feel me? Grew up here. I jumped around for so many different schools, so I know so many people around here. So, ultimately, I grew up in, I graduated from Kalamazoo Central. I played football, track, baseball. I did it all. So, you feel me? So, when I went to college, straight after I graduated high school, I went to JUCO in Minnesota called Northland Community and Technical College. It was deep in Minnesota. Like,
how was that? How was the environment change?
Minnesota, what people don't understand though, being from Michigan cold, but Minnesota, that's a different type of cold.
What Yadi say, cold like Minnesota?
And he wasn't lying. Like, Minnesota's probably one place, like, I learned something there, man. JUCO was crazy. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like, people think, oh yeah, why don't you go to Minneapolis? Man, I'm 6 hours from there, bro. Like, JUCO was crazy, man. Like, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I must have got an offer from North Dakota State University. But I ended up passing on the offer because personal reasons that it wasn't a good fit for me. So after my JUCO journey, actually after my one season at JUCO, my program had got shut down. So they had shut the program down. Like they said, they didn't like
the football program.
Shut the program down.
Damn.
It was predominantly white area. The only African American boys was on the football team, so it was a lot of Trump signs around. So. So you kind of know how that was kind of go.
It's probably a good thing for y'all then.
Yeah, so after that, I actually came back home. I went to Jackson College, so I was down the street, and then that's when COVID hit. So COVID had knocked me down, so it was during the summertime. It was like, I thought I was done. Like, I was just finna say, I'm just finna stay home, do school.
Yeah.
Then that's when Coach Fobbs from Grambling, he called me. He was like, hey, Bill, you committed anywhere yet? I said, no, like, come down to Grambling right now.
Bring your ass. Man.
A week later, got the Grambling.
Man. So how did it feel when you finally got that call?
It was so unexpected though, because it was like, once you get in your mind, like, I'm done, like, it was like, man, I'm finna just get my education and be done.
Man.
He got that call, I'm like,
get to finally do
D1,
what you want to do. Yeah.
HBCU, I never thought in a million years I'd go to HBCU. Like, it's never even came to my mind. I was like, it's not that I never said I wouldn't. It's like I didn't expect it. But I got that call. He told me to come down there. Everything lined up. I was like, I'm coming. Like, I packed up my stuff and I came.
Shit,
quick.
Why not? So shit, before we start talking about the life and stuff on the HBCU campus and stuff, I want to talk a little bit about like your struggles and stuff and how you got there. So kind of like when you was in high school and stuff like that, what did you kind of like want to go play sports and stuff in college, or was that kind of like a secondary background for you type deal?
So really in high school, I always had the dream of just like my goal was always playing. I just wanted to play sports at the highest level I could, just anywhere. Like a lot of people say they want to just go to the NFL or just go to the NBA. I just wanted to play at the highest, anywhere that as far as I can go. And it was hard coming into high school. Like during high school, it was like I wasn't really focused on the academic side of high school.
Right.
I had the sports side. Sports side I always cared about. I wouldn't even really care about academic side.
Yeah.
I just thought, hey, if I get my diploma, it's whatever. Like, I just get up out of here.
Yeah, that's how it was.
And not knowing that came back and it bit me. Like, it was, some people always said academics to me. Always, but I was like, nah, whatever. I can always turn it back on whenever I want to, whatever. But it was like, that was what brought me down. Like when I graduated, it was like applying to colleges. They like, okay, I want you to have this, but why does your test scores look better than with your GPA? Like, what were you doing?
Yeah, they get confused when they.
Yeah, they get. It's like, what were you doing? Like, and that shows like being lazy, didn't care. That's the first thing. That's my first impression. That's people's first impression of me when they look at the grades and that from high school. So yeah, so that was my biggest struggle. Was just the academic side. It was not that I didn't know the curriculum. I was smart. I just didn't care. I didn't put that effort.
Yeah, the school setting is also not for everybody as well. What I learned too is like the reason why school is how it is because like the founders of school is like people from the church. So that's why you sit down for 8 hours at a time and listen to woo, 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 even though it's already scientifically proven that it's best that kids like under 16 and stuff learn the best like when they moving around or when they singing songs and shit like that, but they don't care because it's more convenient for the teacher.
Right.
So with that being said, shit, it's hard for a certain amount of people, especially people that excel on the physical side like you know, playing sports and shit. It's hard to do that and have the energy to save up to do that and then go sit down somewhere for all them hours at a time and just stay focused and looking at shit. I know a lot of players that's D1 and shit that struggle just sitting down looking at film. And that ain't but, such and such. But, I mean, it just shows that it's not for everybody. Shit, I couldn't do it myself either, but, shit, I tried. And that's the most important part.
Exactly.
So, shit, just the fact that you, said that you wanted to play at the highest level that you could. I mean, you still going, obviously, but, I mean, you've already made it farther than a lot of people have that's tried their whole life. So, I mean, it's just good to see you on the right path. So, it's good to see you on the right path for sure, bro. With that being said, do you have any like family members that you've seen or that inspired you to really play sports or that kind of made it to the higher levels of sports?
Yeah, so I always had my uncle. My uncle, Cameron Cheatham. He grew up in Kalamazoo, graduated, went to the University of Cincinnati. So that was my first hand, like, seeing somebody close to me at that college level. And still, you can see, like, it's all the time. I call my uncle all the time, like, hey, like, I'm going through this during, like, how do I handle this? Like, problems with a coach. How do I worry about coach change? Like, I'm calling him, like, hey, like, how do I go about this situation? Because I'm feeling some type of way. But how can I handle it in this way? And, he always, it's so good to see that, having that, somebody so close to me that I can easily turn to and talk to about it. Because it's somebody who already been through it. Like, some people, like, you can talk to, it's easy to talk to somebody like a friend or like somebody you kind of distant, but that's blood. That's blood telling. So it hits different when it's coming from your family.
And they'll usually when it's blood like that too, they'll tell you exactly what you need to know instead of beating around the bush. And shit too.
Most definitely. Yeah, he tells me like my uncle. Like when we talking, he tell me exactly like this, and this. It's like, and it's like he don't hold nothing back. He doesn't hold nothing back from me. That's why you get the utmost respect because you being completely honest with it.
Yeah, that's good to have somebody that's close to you that's been there before. Because not a lot of people, a very small percentage of people have that motivation behind them, and they gotta, pretty much bump their head and shit on their own first to figure it out. So that's good that you have somebody in your corner to really push you like that.
Right.
Was there any more like pros or cons that you kind of dealt with the transition of becoming like a high school football player versus going off to play by yourself on college campus and all that stuff like that?
it was most definitely like I felt like the biggest struggle for me was first it was I came in weaker than most of the people that was in my position group. So my first practice is like you right into it, and it was like I immediately felt like, man, I gotta get stronger. Like I gotta get bigger, stronger, faster. And it's like you feel that exactly that first day because it's like if you don't adjust, you out of there. And that's truly how it is. And then another thing is my biggest adjustment I had to be being away from family. Like most people that I have on the team that being in Louisiana, they're in the Louisiana area, Texas area, they're close by. It's like my family 13 and a half hours away. Like the people that I know close dearly to me where I can go feel like home are 13 hours away. So you have to learn to like adjust to that. Like you out by yourself. It's just you. Like you got to make it do. Like you know, like you can't. You know, you can call on family when you need to, but you know, mama can't pull up on you.
You can't
mama
walk
too
around
far.
the corner.
Mama ain't down the street no more. You know, she all the way on the side of the country. So
So with being you know, an athlete that's on campus, what did you do for like I know you get like stipend funds and stuff like that from the school, but did you have to like work outside to support yourself on campus and stuff like that?
Oh, most definitely. Like, you know, you still gotta pay bills, you still gotta live just like anybody else. So, you know, just doing extra little working jobs over the summer, or like even with the brutal schedule of like being in season, off season, like you got 16-hour days. Like you gotta figure out in season you got 16-hour days, so you kind of really don't got time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like really in season, so those off season times, like you can get you a little side hustle job, you know, part time job, make you some extra cash on the side. But but during the season, it's hard. It's hard. Like that's where the student athlete, like it's you know you get a little bit from you get refunds from the school, but you know. That's still after you pay your rent or pay for that bill.
Ain't nothing but necessities.
Exactly.
So I'm glad I got you to touch on that because a lot of people think, you know, especially if you get like a full ride or a scholarship to go somewhere, they think that, you know, you just go on campus for 4 to 6 years and you just living on that bitch. You go to class every day, you go eat on the campus and shit, and you go home and shit. Like, nah. It's not like that. Like, you gotta go live there just like you would live here. You have to pay for bills. You still have to pay for everyday life. I know you don't want to just sit in the house all day, 25/8. You want to go enjoy yourself. Yeah. So people just forget about the fact that you still have to live on top of being a student athlete, and they forget how hard that shit is. So I'm glad you could touch on that. Aside from the student athlete side, we see that you in the Kappa thing. What got you started or interested in joining the Kappa League?
So when I was in high school, I joined in the Kappa League, and the reason why because my granddad was a Kappa. He pledged Kappa outside at Fair State University, the ET chapter up there, and he always had like what my dad had with the prison. My granddad was always that male figure. He was really that male figure that I always had. So my granddad's a noob, so he showed me like I was always around him. So he carried his way, the way he carried himself, the way that he just showed me the way. Really, is all I say. So it was just like it was really like a way that I can repay him by like not only is it my granddad, I can call him my frat brother. So that's just what led me to not only just to down there to pledge Kappa outside down there at Grambling, because it was just I was like, I want to be like my granddad. Yeah. Like some people say they want to be like their father. I always say I want to be like my granddad. But that's exactly what that's one thing that we have in common.
So from your experience, do you think it's a little bit different experience from pledging from somewhere like up here at Western versus pledging at a HBCU?
Yeah, I can't say it's probably gonna be real different, because growing up here, seeing the Greek like at Western the whole time, but then I'm thinking I have this vision of what it would be, then going out to HBCU where it's completely different. Like it's like it's more you got
it's culturistic.
You got a black fraternity on a black campus, so it's real different. It's real different.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's definitely experience, man. That's something that a lot of people will want to experience in their life. So just the fact that you was able to get through that. Are you fully pledged and stuff now? Or are you still?
Oh yeah, I'm all the way through.
For sure.
Crossing Spring 22.
For sure. What's your friend name?
King Carl.
King Carl.
King Carl, 2Ks.
My boy in there.
Number 23.
For sure. So we all know you a man of many hats, and you know we all know that you on the line with the football. We know you in the Kappa shit going crazy. I want to talk a little bit about your journey to the track, for playing track and doing, you know, where you at now with it, and the stuff that you got going on with the track stuff.
Right. So it was after the 2021 season for football. It was just like, I don't know. It was just one day I was just sitting at home, just scrolling through my phone. I'm just got to looking at some of my track videos from high school. I'm like,
it's shot put, right?
Yep, shot put. Shot put it just. I'm looking at these other videos. I'm like, man, what if I just go ahead and just do track too? Can I pull it off? I looked in the mirror. I asked myself. I dwelled on it for like a day and a half. Prayed on it and everything. I'm like, can I do two sports in college? And I'm like, okay. But then at the same time, I didn't have my letters yet. So I knew that soon they was going to be dropping the flyers for the new line.
Right.
So I'm like, can I do football, track,
and have time.
Spring football, be in season for track, and be online to pledge? So I was like, okay, let me just go talk to the coach, see where he's at. So I ended up going down to
football coach or track coach.
Track coach. I went up to go to talk to Coach Vaughn. So I went. I got his number from somebody. I was like, let me just go talk to him. And conversation got so good, it was like I wasn't even planning on telling him that I wanted to do track. I just wanted to see if he did. Somehow the conversation turned into, nah, I'm on the track team.
Shit.
Nah, I'm just going to practice. So I went to the first couple of practice. I was like, okay, I can pull this off.
Okay.
So then that's when that was right before Christmas break, 2021. Then beginning of this year, 2022, was the first track meet. And I was like, let me go. I went to the first track meet. I did solid too. And I was like, I guess I'm just I'm gonna ride it out. The next thing you know, that's when spring football started to kick up too. So now I'm doing spring football and track at the same time. So now sometimes I'm missing football practice because I got the track meet. And I go from football practice, meetings, football practice, go practice shot put, go home, do my homework. While still got to go class in that morning, football practice, track practice, throw, go home, do homework. Then finally they dropped the, probably like early February, they dropped the flyer, the interest meeting for Kappa Alpha Psi. Ended up, fast forward, a week or later, two later, mid-February, now I got accepted. So now I'm online. So now my day consists of football. I mean, you got class, football, track practice, schoolwork, and gotta learn information from my fraternity, and learning and bonding with my line brothers. So that's my entire day.
Ain't enough hours in the day, shit.
It's not, but I still gotta watch film for football. I still got find somewhere in the day to watch film for football. I gotta break down film for track. I still gotta go to workouts. I still gotta go to practice. I still gotta do my school homework. I gotta be the best at every one of them. I can't make an excuse because I got another one. So it was.
Man,
it's a tough schedule. Yeah.
But it does nothing but build character though. It shows, how close you're gonna be to your end goal because of the work that you put in. The work that you put in like that is gonna separate you from the other people that's around you that's not even thinking about it. So that's a good thing to have. So if you keep that shit up. You got to. But don't burn yourself out in the process though. I know I see that a lot
definitely.
Too. Yeah, so.
And that's what people. A lot of people say, like, when you say it out loud, people say like, man, that's a tough schedule. But in between them times, I still found time for me.
Yeah.
I still always found time for me. It was like, even though I had, like, you might think I was worn out. Some days I was worn out, but hey, I made sure that I'm I'm kicking back, watching TV, playing the game or something between all that. I'm gonna find time for me because that's how you lose yourself into it. Man, that's one thing I knew I was not gonna lose myself into the grind because you gotta find that balance. You gotta find that work-life balance.